Hi everyone, my name's Raina and I'm a fourth year dental student here at the University of Sheffield. I've just had one of my weekly clinical skills teaching sessions, and in this video I want to share my experiences of face-to-face teaching so far. If you are about to start any face-to-face teaching sessions, especially if it's clinical or lab related, then this video might be very useful for you to get an idea of what it could be like. So before coming back to face-to-face teaching, I was a little bit worried about how it would work with social distancing from each other, because a huge part of our learning requires peer review and tutors to come and look at our work and often point to very small parts of the tooth. However, the dental school and the university have thought of so many practical measures so that it's safe for us, and things have been going really well so far. The session I've had today was a 5-hour practical session on the phantom heads in our clinical skills learning environment. And here we basically practice all kinds of different dental treatments on plastic teeth in these fake heads before we're actually allowed to do them on real patients. So now when we enter the dental school, and at all times inside, we have to be wearing a mask and we have to sanitize our hands when we first go in. Then we follow a one-way system through the dental school to our assigned locker room. And this locker room changes depending on where we are in the dental school, and we only share it with our clinical skills group, and only 2 people are allowed in the room at one time. In the locker room, I change into my clinical clothes, and I also change out of my outside mask and into a disposable one that they supply us with in the room. Then I head to the lab, and it's all a one-way system, and there are signs everywhere reminding you where to walk, and we go straight to our assigned seat when we enter the lab. Then straight away we put on our PPE, so normally we always wear an apron, a mask, goggles and gloves, but we also have this extra face visor as an added layer of protection. These visors are a bit uncomfortable, a bit itchy, and they do leave a mark on my forehead after I'm finished with the session, but I think everyone has slowly got used to it, and it's a necessary precaution if we want to carry on with face-to-face teaching. In the actual clinical skills session, we're no longer allowed to get up and walk around if we need things. We have to put our hand up and get the nurse to bring us anything that we need. The capacity of the actual lab has also been reduced because every other seat has been blocked off, so everyone stays socially distanced. And also when we want the tutor to check our work, they come over and we have to step away and maintain a safe distance whilst they're looking. This has definitely presented its challenges because we often do need to get quite close to the tooth to actually be able to look at what they're pointing to. However, it's a safety measure that we are all getting used to, and we kind of just have to accept that this is part of face-to-face teaching now. At the end of the session, we wipe down the whole unit, even things we haven't touched, with a new antiviral chemical. In dentistry, we have always maintained a really good cleaning protocol and good cross-infection control, but this new chemical is just an added layer of protection to comply with any new guidelines and new protocols. And then we stagger leaving times for everyone, so there's not a big group leaving at the same time. And then we leave the dental school following the one-way system. So my personal experience with face-to-face teaching has been a really positive one so far. Yes, there are many new rules and regulations, but the actual quality of teaching hasn't changed at all. I'm really happy and grateful to even get a few hours of face-to-face teaching a week, and if that means following all of the new safety measures, then that is absolutely fine. In particular, I've been really impressed with how the dental school has adapted to the reduced capacity in the labs by putting on longer sessions for us all to catch up on the work from March, but also doing it really safely and complying with all of the rules and keeping the quality of teaching at the same high standard. So that's been my experience so far of weekly face-to-face clinical skills sessions. I hope this video has been useful in getting an idea of what it has been like being physically back at university, especially for a clinical course. If you do have any other questions of my experiences with face-to-face teaching so far, please do leave a comment below and I'd be more than happy to respond. Thank you all so much for watching, and bye!